It is 5:30, so it's time to get started. Welcome to class. If you're still getting your technology and your mat set up, take your time, no rush. Do make sure that you're set up in a space that provides you with some safety and comfort. So if you extend your arms out to the side, make sure that you're not gonna knock over a lamp or something like that. Maybe you're even outside today. But welcome, I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Amanda, and this is the Monday Night Yoga class. This is a free beginner yoga class that's being offered through the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. That's part of continuing and distance education here at the University of Vermont. So check them out. That's OLLI is the acronym for OLLI. They have all kinds of great offerings. I know they're always looking for new members if you're not a member yet. So please do check them out. This is amazing that they're providing these free classes for folks online. This is a do what you can kind of a class. So it is for beginners. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily easy. So I want you to make sure that you're really doing what you need to tonight, whether it's going deeper to stretch your hamstrings because they're tight, whether it's just taking Shavasana, our final resting posture right at the beginning because you're absolutely exhausted and just want to relax. This is your practice for you. So do what it is that works best for you. Use your own body wisdom. I can't see you, so I'm not sure if you have your knee in the right place over your ankle, so really please be cognizant of being safe in your own body as we practice tonight. Oh yeah, just one little quick logistical thing. Next Monday is a holiday. I know we're all kind of like in this blur of time, but we won't be having a live streaming class on Monday. These classes are being recorded, so you can access them online, but there will be no live stream next Monday. But then after that, we will be going through the month of June on Monday evenings. As I mentioned, I'm super grateful to OLLI, and I'm grateful to you guys for participating and doing this class, sending me emails and pictures of your yoga studio and things like that. I think that gratitude is a really powerful practice, and it's something that is beneficial to us all the time. But I think that especially when we're facing difficulty and challenges, finding gratitude in our daily lives and in our interactions can help promote well-being, health, positive thinking, and that sort of thing. And I think that oftentimes we find gratitude as something that's outside of us, right? Like, I'm super grateful to the folks that are helping to make all of this happen so I can have this class. Like, there are people who are making sure this gets online, that film it, that market it, and I'm so grateful that they do all of those things. I'm grateful that it's really sunny outside. I'm grateful for my tiny dog who's so amazing. And we all have these little things in our life that we're like, yeah, in times of difficulty, I can really hang my hat on how grateful I am for my family, or that I have enough food to eat, or that sort of thing. But as I was getting ready for our class tonight, I decided to look up the definition of gratitude. And the favorite one that I found reads that gratitude is a quality of being thankful. It's a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. So, radical idea, because I just listed a whole bunch of things that I legitimately am grateful for and should be grateful for. But what about gratitude for this? What about gratitude turned more inward towards ourselves? Gratitude for our amazing bodies that we're able to practice yoga, or at least take a good Shavasana in. Gratitude for our kind spirits or good intentions. Gratitude for the power of our minds and of our hearts. It's sort of an uncomfortable thing to be like, yeah, I'm grateful for me. This is pretty great. Because sometimes we don't feel like things are pretty great. And so that's sort of why gratitude ends up being external. We express gratitude towards others. They express gratitude towards us. And that's awesome. But wouldn't it be cool if we could cultivate some of that within ourselves? Wouldn't that be incredibly powerful? So that's part of what yoga is about. It's a practice. It's this exploration into all of these different ideas of how we can be more ourselves, how we can be healthier, how we can walk how we can walk through the world in a way that has the most positive impact. So tonight, as we go through our practice, I want to offer up this idea of self-gratitude. And not in any sort of an egotistical way or some way that's counter to how you were raised, where you maybe shouldn't be boasting about yourself or thinking about all of your positive attributes. For some of us, this can be really hard. So isn't it great that you're in the privacy of your own home exploring these ideas in the yoga practice? And if gratitude's just not something you want to be thinking about today, you can just go through the practice and do the best that you can with what you've got today. So totally your call. I'm so grateful that you're here. But let's explore together as we go through the asana, the physical practice of yoga, finding some gratitudes from within. Gratitude for ourself, our mind, our body, and our spirits. So let's start by finding as comfortable a seat as you can find. Maybe that's sitting directly on your mat, on a blanket or a block. Feel free to adjust yourself in a way that is most comfortable for you. And we'll start by making sure that the weight is evenly distributed between both of your hips. You're sitting up nice and tall and proud in the chest, extending the crown of your head up towards the ceiling as you root down through your hips. Just gently bring your shoulders up by your ears and then let them relax down on the back, just gently. Softly. Have your hands on your knees or thighs and close your eyes or bring them to a soft gaze. And remember, this seat is your seat. So if you need to adjust to be more comfortable during this meditation portion of the practice, feel free to extend the legs out or to readjust accordingly, whatever you need. But take this time to settle into this tall, proud seat and close your eyes as you connect with your breath. With each inhale, sitting up a little bit taller and a little bit brighter in your seat. Each exhale arriving, settling in your body and in your mind. And in this seat, as you breathe, I invite you to thank yourself for showing up in class tonight. Give yourself some credit. You remembered what day it was, what time class is. You got your stuff set up. Maybe you're laying in Shavasana right now, or maybe you're sitting up attentive and ready to go. But there was effort and care that was put into where you're at right at this moment. And you're the one that made that happen. So thank yourself. I am so grateful that you have put all this effort in to show up to class tonight. That makes my being here and leading this class more meaningful for me. So there's one small impact of you showing up to class tonight. Begin to deepen your breath as you keep sitting up nice and tall. Noticing the lungs as they expand on the inhale. And as the chest falls on the exhale. And with these deep breaths, notice if you're starting to feel a change in your body, in your mind. As you inhale, sitting up taller. And as you exhale, letting go of whatever you don't need. It's amazing that we have the capability within us to change one little thing, like our breath, to shift our energy, to ground us or calm us. Maybe give a little appreciation for your nervous system, your lungs, this amazing body that's allowing you to breathe and ready for the yoga practice. Still sitting up nice and tall, bring your palms together in a prayer position in front of your heart. If you need to reset the shoulders on the back, do that. Find a nice long spine, a nice long neck. And we're going to begin our practice tonight by chanting the sound of Om together. And the sound of Om can be chanted as loudly or as quietly as you would like. I invite you to think of the chanting of Om as you using your voice in our practice tonight. We'll chant it just one time. Take a full exhale. And an inhale for Om. Release your hands and gently let your eyes flutter open as you keep sitting up nice and tall, letting the light come back in. If you need to adjust your seat, do that, but let your hands rest on your knees or thighs and gently do some shoulder rolls. So we'll start with rolling both shoulders backwards at the same time, doing the best that you can. Maybe they don't quite go at the same pace, or maybe they do. And then reverse direction, so both shoulders going forward. And if this is uncomfortable for you, maybe you need to sit up taller or go more slowly. Then we'll try alternating shoulders. So still going forward, but left shoulder, then right shoulder, sitting up tall, keeping the core engaged. Nice. And then reverse that, so going backwards. See if you can keep the lower body steady. Excellent. And then release that and come to stillness. Still sitting up nice and tall. Tip your left ear towards the left shoulder and then reach your right hand out to a diagonal. My arm is relaxed but nice and straight. And then with the left hand, just gently place it on the side of the head. Fingertips are grazing the ear. And we're just using the natural weight of the left arm to open up through the right side of the neck. Keep breathing fully here. On your next exhale, release and gently come back to center. And then we'll switch sides. So let the right ear go to the right shoulder, reach through the left arm, and then use your right hand to just gently use that weight to open up the left side of the neck. We're trying to create some softness and space through the neck and shoulders here. On your next exhale, release and come back to center. If you're sitting on a block or something that has you up high, you'll want to remove it. A blanket is still kind of nice to sit on, but we're going to come to a seat with both feet together. Soles of the feet are connected and the knees are wide. This is called Cobbler pose or Badakanasana. Your hands are holding onto your feet or ankles or shins, and you're sitting up nice and tall here. Core is engaged, shoulders are on the back, and then holding onto the shins, a little bit of a back bend. So open the chest up towards the ceiling or sky if you're outside. Shining the heart, a little bit of gratitude as we start to open up the practice. As you exhale, start to round the spine, pull the belly in, hollow the chest, let the head come forward. And in this posture, you can let the spine round a little bit. You don't hear me say that too often in the yoga practice. Inhale and come back up. Chest shining straight ahead. Nice. And then come to a cross-legged seat. Take your hands behind you. So we're going to have them connect to the mat with the fingertips pointing towards the body. Excellent. So I've heard some teachers call this beach chair pose. That's kind of nice for today. So here we're pressing into the hands, a little bit of back bend. So your legs are crossed, hips are rooted, Pressing into the hands as you open the chest. Exhale to release that. Then place both feet flat on the floor. Knees are bent. You're going to turn your hand so that the fingertips are pointing towards the back of the mat. And from here, press into your feet and lift your hips up, looking up towards the ceiling for a reverse table. If you need to adjust your hands, if that doesn't feel good, you can always turn them so that the fingertips are pointing towards your feet. Keep looking up towards the ceiling, so avoid letting your head fall backwards, and find some softness and openness in the throat. A little bit of gratitude for the neck and throat where our voice comes from. On your next exhale, gently lower your hips back down to the mat. Nice job. Extend the right leg out and bring the sole of the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Sit up nice and tall here, and if it helps, try pulling the fleshy part away from your sits bone so that your hips can be nice and evenly rooted. Nice. Strong in the core, turn your torso towards the right leg. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead. And then leading with your heart, as you exhale, we're going to hinge over the extended leg. And then release the hands and take your left hand to the outside of the right leg. Maybe you can grab the pinky toe side of the foot or the shin, but this just helps keep us in this nice alignment with the extended leg. Reach through your fingertips to inhale and come all the way up, arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist. Left hand comes behind you, and right hand is connected to your bent knee. You're sitting up nice and tall as you inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to twist towards the left. The twist comes from the very base of the spine, followed by the thoracic spine, and then your head. Keep your right hand on the bent knee as you inhale. Left arm comes up overhead. You're reaching for the extended leg as you open up the left side of the body. No worries how far away that right foot is. Maybe you're grabbing a hold of the foot, or maybe it looks like it's a mile away. As long as your hips are rooted and your shoulders are down away from your ears, you've got this. Nice job. Inhale to come back to center. From here, you're going to take your left hand and place it down on the floor next to the bent knee. We're going to come forward onto the front shin. My right leg is straight, and I'm reaching the right arm up overhead. So left hand is on the floor. I'm on my left shin. Right leg is extended. Right arm is extended for fallen star. And then exhale to release back down. And we'll switch sides. So extend the left leg out, sole of the right foot on the inner thigh. You're sitting up nice and tall. Weight is even between both hips. And then turn towards the extended leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and reach over the left leg. Right hand comes to the pinky toe side of the foot, ankle or shin. Nice long neck here. Steady breath. Maybe some appreciation for yourself and for your body. And if this left leg isn't ready to be straight yet in this practice, by the way, don't worry about it. Little soft bend is totally fine. Reach through the fingertips as you inhale to come up, and as we exhale, we'll twist to the right. Your right fingertips come to the floor behind you. Left hand is on the bent knee. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, use your left hand to help rotate a little further to the right. Keep your left hand on the bent knee. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up overhead. Take a look at that extended foot. Do your best to be really kind to yourself here. Notice your thoughts. Hopefully they're really encouraging to you. And if they're not, maybe see if you can change that. Inhale to come back up to center. This time we're going to place the right hand on the floor. Press in to the right shin and reach the left fingertips up. Left leg is extended. We're opening up through the left hip. And I'm reaching up towards my lifted hand. Exhale and release back down. Nice job. Come on around to a tabletop position and step your right foot forward to a low lunge. All right, so take your time if you need to get yourself adjusted. You can use a blanket for the back knee. But find yourself as comfortable as you can be here. Notice that my foot and my knee are almost mat width apart, so keep a nice steady base here. Back toe is pointed, front knee is aligned with the front ankle, hands are on your hips. As you exhale, shift the weight in the hips forward, opening up through this left quad and hip flexor. As you inhale, float your fingertips up overhead, bring your palms together in prayer position. If you can, take a look up towards the lifted hands. Now, if that bothers you, if you don't feel good looking up towards your lifted hands, take a look straight ahead towards me. Totally fine. Nice and strong in the belly, a little bit of a back bend here. Nice. Exhale and come back to center. Fingertips come towards the floor or blocks. Shift your hips back as we straighten this front leg for a runner's stretch. And I am going to use a block here to demonstrate. Front leg is straight and your back knee is bent. And we're flexing those right toes up towards the ceiling. So your hands are connected to the floor or blocks. And I invite you to have your hands on the pinky toe side of this runner's stretch. This is called Ardha Hanumanasana, or flying half monkey pose. All right, bend into the front knee one more time. Bring your palms together in prayer position, and we're going to do a little twist. So left elbow comes to the top of the thigh, or maybe the outside of the knee. We're pressing the palms together as you twist to the right side. All right, unwind to come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So bring the right knee back, step the left foot forward. Make any adjustments that you need to get comfortable on this side. Maybe your right knee is the wonky knee, and so you need the blanket here. Feel free to do that. And then stand up nice and tall. Have a nice steady base. As you exhale, we'll start to shift the weight in the hips forward. And we're all different here. I have very open hips. Not always a good thing. So if you're not moving as far forward as I am, if you're more here, perfect. Listen to your body. As you inhale, float your arms up overhead and bring your palms together in prayer position. And you can either stay here or a little bit of a back bend, staying strong in the belly, lots of space around the ears and shoulders. Exhale to come back to center. Reach your hands down towards the floor. Move the hips back as you flex your left toes up towards the ceiling. We're trying to straighten this left leg. And remember, you can always use your hand. So if you're like, I know this leg could be straighter, feel free to use your hand to grab the shin and straighten it out. We're extending over the left leg, and your hands are on the floor or blocks. And I invite you to reach towards the pinky toe side to kind of keep the torso in alignment with the left leg. Are you breathing? Nice. All right, come back to center. Bend into the front knee one more time and bring your palms together in prayer. And we'll do the other side. So right elbow comes towards the left thigh as we twist. And if you find that your body is kind of in the way of this twist, feel free to use your right hand to move some of the body out of the way. No, use your left hand to twist some of the body out of the way as you press your palms together, pulling the left shoulder back. And come back to center. Bring your fingertips down to the floor. Bring your left knee back to meet the right. Walk your hands forward just a little bit. Walk your knees back just a little bit. And then make your way up to plank, top of a push-up. So in plank, we have the shoulders over the wrists, the legs are straight, core is engaged, and your heels are pointing toward, or your hips are pointing towards your heels, keeping it nice and solid in the center. Have your gaze out on the floor ahead of the mat. And then just check in with yourself here. Notice how strong you are, how much effort that you're putting into this posture. And if, as we're in this plank, if you hear me say, notice how strong you are, and you're like, yeah, but I'm sweating and trembling right now, you are still strong, so keep breathing and know that. All right, here we go. Keep your hands and feet where they are. Move your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Nice job. All right, walk your hands back towards your feet so that you're at the back of your mat, coming to a forward fold. Your feet are hips distance apart and parallel. You're hinged at the hips. Legs are as straight as they can be, but if you need to bend them, do that. Relax your head so that the crown of your head's pointing towards the floor. Grab opposite elbows for Ragdoll. Keep the low body steady as you just gently rock the torso from side to side. Come to stillness. Release the elbows. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide as you come all the way up. Reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way forward. Bend the knees deeply as you press all the air out of your lungs. Inhale up halfway to a flat back. Hands are on your thighs, elbows tucked in, nice long spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips, bend the knees super deep. Press into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms wide, come all the way up. Arms up overhead, connect the palms, and bring them to prayer in front of your heart. We'll do one more of that breath flow series. Bring all this fresh air in, getting the nervous system moving. Inhale and reach up. Stay strong in the belly. Exhale, hinge at the hips, bend the knees deeply. Let the chest rest on the knees. Exhale all the air out. Inhale up halfway to a flat back. Pike pose, looking down at the floor. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Inhale, press into the feet, arms reach wide as you come all the way up. Connect the palms and bring them to heart center. Nice. Find mountain pose here. So feet hips distance apart and parallel. Your feet are pressing into the floor. Your legs are active. Kneecaps are lifted. Quads are engaged. Get the belly engaged. So I like to give this little tutorial of sticking the tailbone out as you pull the lower belly in, and then pivoting the tailbone more towards the floor as you pull in the rest of the abdominals. Keeping all that strength, straightening the legs and standing up nice and tall. Mountain pose is, much like our breath, is one of these things that's always with us and is a great way to find a little bit of gratitude. We all have a little strength of a mountain within us. As you inhale, float your arms up overhead, shoulders are relaxed, and then you're going to drop the right fingertips so that they come in between the shoulder blades. Left hand grabs the elbow. Actually, it's not really a grab, it's a gentle touch. And then notice I have lots of space between my ears and shoulders as I exhale, arching over towards the left side. And really try to keep a lot of space on both sides of the body. You might find that it's kind of easy to do this, but then we're all compressed here. So find some space, some lift. Inhale to come back to center. Fingertips reach up as you look up. And we'll switch sides. Left fingertips come behind you. Right hand connects to the elbow. Nice and strong in the belly. And arch over to the right side. Nice job. Inhale and come back to center. Reach the fingertips up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way forward. Walk yourself forward to plank, top of a push-up. If you need to go onto your knees first to get there, do that. Not a problem at all. But let's wind up with the shoulders over the wrists. Nice straight legs. Of course, you can always drop the knees if you need to. Steady breath. And in the yoga practice, if you ever find that you're struggling for breath, that means that perhaps you've gone a little deeper into the posture than what your body would like. What an amazing thing. I'm super appreciative of my body telling me when I need to take a break. All right, press your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Notice how the arms feel here. Steady breath and walk your feet forward, coming to a forward fold up at the top of your mat. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide as you come all the way up. Exhale, and we're going to sit back for Utkatasana, or fierce pose. Some people call this chair pose. In this posture, your feet are hips distance apart and parallel. You're shifting your hips back like you're going to sit into a seat that's being pulled away from behind you. Arms are by your ears. Steady breath. And then bring your palms together, extended out in front of you, so arms are straight and palms are connected. As you inhale, we're going to start to open the right arm out to the side. Keep the shoulders relaxed, and with your gaze, watch the thumb. Opening the arm as wide as it will go, looking behind you as far as your body will allow tonight. When you've gone as far as you can, we'll exhale and start to bring the right arm back in front. For those who regularly come to my class, they know the chair pose is like my least favorite posture that I teach. All right, other side, left side. Begin to inhale and open the arm. But one of the powerful things, amazing things of our body and our brain is when we add another component, like opening your arm and watching your thumb, suddenly we're distracted from the thing that we're struggling with. That's something I'm really appreciative of as a human. All right, once you've gone as far as you can, bring the arm back. If your thighs are talking to you, great job. If you need to come out of this, that's fine too. Connect the palms, bring your hands together in prayer, straighten the legs and hinge forward. Relax the head. All right, bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide as you come on up, and bring your hands together in prayer. Nice. Find mountain pose once again. And we're going to do a little sequence that involves clasping hands behind the back like this. I've been exploring this a little bit, and as much as I really enjoy clasping my hands, I also like having a little tool. So I've been using this little face cloth. You can also use a sock. So your choice. When we're clasping hands, you can hold on to something like this, or perhaps this feels really good to you. I love this, but there's also some serious compression that goes on. So your choice, but we're going to find mountain pose, standing up nice and tall to begin with, strong in the belly. Inhale, arms float up overhead. Exhale, arms come down by your sides, and then we're going to clasp the hands behind the back, or maybe you're using a strap or something else to hold on to. Stand up nice and tall, strong in the belly here. And then as you exhale, we're going to hinge forward at the hips, moving the arms away from the body. Press into the feet and come all the way up. Release your hands. Let your feet be wider than hips distance apart. And just some empty coat sleeves here. So let the hips move from side to side and let the arms follow the hips. Soft knees. Let your heels be free. Nice. And then just release the momentum. Let yourself come back to center. All right. Find yourself up at the top of your mat. Once again, mountain pose. Make a connection with the left foot, feeling it firmly rooted. Strong in your core. Start to shift the weight, freeing your right foot. Still standing up nice and tall. And maybe tonight you're standing on your toe, which is awesome. You're standing on your toe, awesome. If you want to do a little bit more, see if you can get some space, maybe you can even get your knee up towards hip height. Wherever you're at, give yourself some credit. You're working on standing on one foot, and for some of us, this doesn't go so well. So excellent practice. Notice what your left ankle is doing right now, whether you're on your toe or whether your knee is lifted. I am super appreciative and amazed by our ankle's ability to adjust here. All right, gently step your right toes back. We're coming into warrior one. So that means that my heel is actually connected to the floor. My back foot's at a 45-degree angle. My front foot's pointing straight ahead, and notice my feet are hips width apart. I'm bending into the front knee. Back leg is straight. You have to scoot your back leg behind you a little more. Do that. Release your arms down by your sides, and as you inhale, reach your arms up. This is warrior one. Again, you can look up towards the ceiling or towards me. As you exhale, release your arms down by your sides and clasp your hands once again, or grab a hold of a little tool if that's helpful. But shoulders are on the back, hands are clasped. You're pressing your hands towards the floor as you look up towards the ceiling. for a little bit of a back bend. Stay strong in the belly, strong in the legs. On your next exhale, we're going to come forward to Humble Warrior. That's a forward fold, moving your torso on the inside of the bent knee, moving the arms away from the body. If you have to release your hands to the floor to help you adjust here, feel free to do that. Let your head relax. Remember, this is a humble warrior, bowing in reverence. Steady breath here. All right, nice job. Press into your feet to come on up to standing. Release your arms down by your sides. Hands come to your hips. Kick off the back foot and come on up to the top of the mat. Nice. All right. Yay, grateful for two sides. That's one of my favorites because it is amazing that we have these two sides and it gives us double the opportunity. So find yourself here once again. And this time feel your right foot firmly rooted. Stand up nice and tall, start to shift your weight. And hey, maybe this side is completely different for you. Maybe you've got to be on that big toe, or maybe you can get your knee up to hip height. Wherever you are, you're giving yourself credit for doing this. Maybe giving some love to that right ankle. All right, with as much control as you have, step your left foot back to Warrior One. So back foot is at a 45-degree angle. I scoot my right foot more towards the edge of the mat so I have a wider base. Bend into the front knee, nice straight back leg. Inhale and float the arms up. Warrior One or Vriksasana One. Make sure you're breathing here. Exhale to release your arms down by your sides. Then clasp your hands behind you or grab a hold of your strap. And hands go aiming in the direction of the floor. Shoulders are on the back as you open your chest up towards the sky. And now here, strong and steady in the legs. So pull in at the belly, hug in at the thighs. As you exhale, we're going to bring the torso on the inside of the bent knee. Relax the head for Humble Warrior. Nice. All right, strong and steady. Press into the feet. Come on up. Nice job. You can set the tool off to the side. Release your hands. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into the front foot. And come on up. Shake it out a little bit. Nice job. All right, come to the middle of your mat and find a wide-legged stance. If you are in a narrow space, you might feel more comfortable going sideways on your mat. So it's your choice, but we're going to begin with the feet parallel to the edges of the mat, standing up nice and tall and strong in the belly. Extend your arms out to the sides. This is 5-pointed star, so think about crown of the head towards the ceiling, fingertips extending towards the side of the room, feet rooted. And then bring your arms up so that your body's more in the shape of an X. And take up space here. And if you're in a space where you can't take up space here, turn around and just take up space. You deserve to take up as much space as you need. You probably don't because you care so much about other people's space. So here, find the space for you. And give yourself a little bit of appreciation for recognizing that and creating it. All right, bring your hands to your hips. I'm going to stop giving you the side view here. All right, as you exhale, hinge forward, come to a flat back. And then bring your right hand to the floor or to a block. As you inhale, left fingertips come up for a twist. As you exhale, lower the left hand down. Remember, you're staying super grounded and rooted in the feet and legs. If your knees are locked, bring a little bend to them, and then inhale to float the right fingertips up, twisting the chest towards the other side. And exhale to release back down. And let yourself fold as far forward as is comfortable for you here. You can have your hands on the block or on the floor. Shins and legs are a good place for your hands as well. Just let the head relax and stay rooted in the feet. All right, bring your hands to your hips, press into your feet, and come on up to standing. And then find your way up to the top of your mat, finding mountain pose once again. Nice. All right. Bring your awareness to your left foot and feel that left foot firmly pressing into the floor once again. Get this whole left leg engaged. And free your right foot, placing the right foot against the left ankle as you stand up nice and tall. Find yourself really rooted here. Like, how stable and steady can you be in this tree pose? This is called tree pose or Vriksasana. And you may be working on stabilizing this tree tonight, and that's a great place to be. If you want to stay right here, bring your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. If you would like a little added challenge, maybe bring the foot to the inside of the calf. Or if you're really feeling rooted tonight, maybe you can grab the ankle and place the foot on the inner thigh. Wherever you are, you're being really kind to yourself, giving yourself credit for doing this one-legged asymmetrical posture, which can be a little bit offsetting for some folks sometimes. Do your best to avoid having your right foot on your left knee, so be above or below it. Keep extending up towards the ceiling. Nice job. Press the hands together, foot into the leg into the foot. Excellent. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring the right knee forward and lower the foot down to the mat. Shake it out. And then we're going to work on the other side. Now, if you're like a lot of us, these balance postures, especially tree pose, can be very frustrating. It doesn't come naturally for us to put all of our weight on one leg like that. So use this as an opportunity not only to show appreciation for how strong and amazing your body is in adjusting, but also in your mind. So take a look down at this right foot, this precious right foot that takes you where you need to go. Press it into the floor, engaging this right leg as you stand up nice and tall. Start to shift your weight, freeing the left foot. And we'll start by placing the sole of the left foot against the right ankle, making a nice connection, pressing them together. And this might be a great place for you to really just work on your steadiness tonight. And if that's the case, bring your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. If we're now on your right side and it's your dominant side and you're like, oh man, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the side that I think I got it. Then try something different. Maybe place the foot on the inside of the calf. Maybe try to grab the ankle. See if you can put it on the inside of the thigh. If you do that and you fall over, no worries. Come back into it if you want to. Take Shavasana if you want to. This is your practice. So you decide. I like having my foot against the calf personally. Press the palms together, press the foot into the leg as you extend the crown of the head skyward. Nice. Bring the knee forward, release the foot, release the hands, and shake it out a little bit. Great job. All right. Find mountain pose at the top of your mat. Release your arms down by your sides, and as you inhale, float your arms up. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way forward. And walk yourself back to a downward facing dog. If you need to go onto your knees first, that's fine. Sometimes people like to do plank and then go into down dog so they know where their hands and feet go. But your hands are shoulder width apart or wider. Feet are hips distance apart, and you're pressing into the hands as the hips go up and back. And let's just double check this down dog. So as you exhale, glide forward to plank. Come on into top of a push-up. You might find you have to scoot your toes back a little bit here. If you did, then your down dog was a little short for our practice tonight. All right, hands and feet stay where they are. Move your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Do your best to keep your hands rooted. I know sometimes that's hard. Stay really engaged in the legs. And on an inhale, float your right leg up for three-legged dog. Again, be cautious of what might be behind your foot as you lift it. And this might be plenty for you tonight, but if you want to try a little bit more and to get into that right quad, we're going to bend the lifted knee and try stacking the hips. So that means shoulders stay square to the front of the mat. The right knee is the highest point on the body, and we're trying to stack the right hip over the left. And I'm kind of pretending like my right foot is really heavy in order to get that knee up higher. Again, this is to open up the quad and hip flexor. All right, unstack the hips, straighten the lifted leg, and lower the foot. If you need to come down to child's pose, do that. If you want to take the opportunity to stay in down dog, enjoy. Nice and strong on the inner left thigh, float the left leg up for three-legged dog on this side, flexing the left foot, keeping the hips level. And then you can either stay right here, or you can bend the lifted knee, which is the left knee, and stack the hips, left knee over the right. And on this side, the left knee is the highest part of the body. Your left foot is really heavy. We're keeping the shoulders square to the front of the mat so you can really get into the legs. Nice job. Make sure you're listening to your own body and doing what you need to. If your hips are stacked, unstack them. Straighten the lifted leg, lower the lifted foot, and then bring your knees down to the floor. We're going to come into child's pose. So big toes together, knees are wide. We're moving the hips back towards the heels. Fingertips are more towards the front of the mat. Another option, if you find that to be a bit compressing, if you have blocks, is you can always use the blocks for your forearms. Take some nice deep breaths for yourself here. If you can, maybe give yourself a little bit of appreciation for the effort that you've put into your practice tonight. On your next inhale, we'll walk the hands in as the torso rises up, and let's scoot around to a seat. All right, so extend your legs straight out on the mat, as straight as they can be. Sit up nice and tall, ears over shoulders, over hips, and let your hands be on either side of the hips as you sit up nice and tall. So this is not beach chair pose. This is staff pose or Dandasana. Sometimes I think people do think it's beach chair pose because a lot of times people are doing this, which is nice, but it's not what we're doing because you're not using any abdominal muscles when you're chilling like that. So we'll sit up nice and tall. Hands are on either side. Nice and soft in the knees. Inhale to float the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward, relaxing your hands wherever is comfortable. And keeping a nice long neck here. So the interest is in opening up the backs of the legs, opening up the back of the spine more than how far your hands can reach. As you inhale, reach through the hands and come on up. Release your arms down by your sides. Bend your right knee in, placing the foot flat on the floor, and bring your hands around your right shin. So you have a couple options here. One option is just as I'm doing with the right foot connected to the floor and the left leg is extended. Option 2 is to cross the right foot over the left leg, keeping the right foot connected to the floor. Now what we're going to be doing is twisting, so you need to decide what feels best for you. I have really short legs, so crossing my foot over is difficult for me because my foot doesn't stay rooted. So the key here is if you want to cross the leg, keep the foot rooted. And if you're like, it doesn't seem to be working, then it's not a big deal, just move the foot back. But wherever you're at, sit up nice and tall, hands are around the shin. Bring your right hand behind you, left arm goes on the outside of the bent knee as you twist towards the right. And again, you can have this right foot across the leg or not. And if the foot's not crossed, you get to decide how wide, how much space you want between your foot and the extended leg. So feel free to play around with it. All right, unwind back to center. If your legs are crossed, uncross them. And we'll change sides. So right leg is extended, left knee is in. Hands around the shin as you sit up nice and tall. And then you decide, maybe this side is more bendy for you and you can really keep the foot rooted. Your choice. I'm going to stick to this version. All right, inhale to sit up tall. As you exhale, we're going to bring the left hand to the floor behind, right arm on the outside of the bent knee. Nice long spine. as you twist around to the left. Gently unwind back to center. Nice job. Bend both knees, placing your feet flat on the floor. Hands are behind your thighs as you sit up nice and tall. Engage your abdominals, so pull the low belly in, tuck the ribs. As you exhale, tilt back and see if you can get some space between your feet and the floor for Navasana or boat pose. And working on getting your feet off of the floor might be plenty tonight. And if it is, perfect. Good for you. Keep working on it and keep breathing, giving yourself credit for it. And if you're like, nah, I want a little bit more tonight, feel free to bring your shins to parallel. Another option is to free your hands from behind the thighs. And a final option is to take your peace fingers and grab a hold of the big toes. Probably have to bend the knees pretty deeply to do that. And then maybe see if you can come to a V seat, or might be a W seat or some other letter. Your legs don't have to be straight. If they are, cool, but if not, don't worry about it. We're just working on having a nice long spine, breathing and staying balanced. And if you roll over behind you, the floor is not too far behind. All right, if you're holding onto the feet, release and bring your shins to parallel. Everyone release and come to a cross-legged seat. Nice job. All right, scoot your way up to the top of your mat so that the feet are right up at the very top. From here, roll onto your back so that you're laying on the floor. Knees are bent and arms are down by your sides. And as you lay down on the floor, get yourself adjusted. So feel free to wiggle around so that you can really find the spine laying nicely on this nice hard surface beneath us. Let the shoulders nestle down on the back. Feet are hips distance apart. And then walk the feet in towards your body a little bit. Arms are down by your sides with your palms face down. Press into the feet, lift the hips up for bridge pose or Setu Bandhasana. You're engaged through the glutes as you lift the hips up. And if you're feeling open in the outer upper arms, you can always roll them back and connect the hands underneath the body. But do what's comfortable for you here. We're mostly working on trying to strengthen the low back. As you exhale, gently lower your hips down to the floor. And once your hips connect with the mat, hug your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side or front and back. Place your left foot on the floor and extend your right foot up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands around the back of the right thigh and pull the leg a little closer to the body. Walk your hands up the leg if that feels good, so maybe more towards the shin. Gently just do some circles with the right foot. And we're trying to keep the leg as steady as we can, just moving the foot. Switch directions with the circles. Nice. And then come to stillness with the foot, flexing it up towards the ceiling. Extend your left leg out on the mat. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Flex both feet. Hands are wrapped around your right shin as you're pulling the right shin in towards your chest, pressing through the sole of the left foot. Reach your right arm out to a T and gently guide the bent knee across the body for a twist. We're trying to keep the shoulders rooted here, but we're working towards stacking the right hip over the left. If it feels good, turn your head towards your right hand. Unwind back to center and hug both knees in towards your chest. Place the right foot on the floor as you extend the left foot up towards the ceiling. Hands come behind the thigh, pulling the left leg a little closer to your body. And walk your hands up the leg if that feels good. Relax the left foot and do some ankle circles by trying to draw a circle or an oval with your big toe and reverse direction. And come to stillness with the foot. Extend your right leg out on the mat. Hug the left knee in towards your shin. Hug the right knee in towards your shoulder. And press through the sole of your right foot. So you're making your right leg as long as possible while hugging that knee in nice and tight. And then extend your left arm out to a T. With your right hand, guide the bent knee across the body for a twist. Again, only go as far as feels right for your body tonight. And if you feel any little twinges or that sort of thing, great opportunity for gratitude. As much as discomfort and pain is unpleasant, it's such a gift to let us know that we need to be backing off or taking better care of ourselves. All right, gently unwind back to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest, nice and tight. Gently rock from side to side or front to back. And from here, we're going to move into our final resting posture of Shavasana. Your options for Shavasana are to have your feet wide and your knees resting on one another. Another option is to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees be wide. And for a traditional version of Shavasana, the legs are extended straight out on the mat with your feet mat width apart. Feet are relaxed out to the sides, and whatever version of the legs you have elected, let the shoulders be nestled down on the back. Arms are down by your sides with your palms face up, and let the backs of your hands be off the mat so that you're really taking up all of the space that you need and deserve to be comfortable here. Close your eyes and just rest. Staying in Shavasana and finishing out your practice is one of the greatest signs of appreciation that you can give yourself and your body as part of this practice. So just rest, and I'll guide you when Shavasana is over. Allow your breath to start to deepen. And let some movement return to your fingers and your toes. On an inhale, extend your arms up overhead and extend your legs out nice and long for one final long stretch. Bring your knees in towards your chest as you roll onto your right side. And then using as little effort as possible, make your way up to a seat with your eyes closed. And find a nice, proud seat like you had in the beginning. And bring your palms together in prayer position in front of your heart. Bringing your thumbs to your sternum, sternum to your thumbs. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful, a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. I am so grateful that you came and practiced with me tonight and explored this idea of self-gratitude, of recognizing all of the wonderful things that you have in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit to be grateful for, those gifts that you share with those around you. We'll close our practice tonight by chanting Om, and we'll do it just one time as loudly or as quietly as you would like. Take a full exhale and a full inhale for Om. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each of you with gratitude. Namaste. Oh, I'm so appreciative that you showed up to practice tonight. Really great job. As I mentioned, there'll be no live stream next week, but we'll start up again after the holiday. There are videos online for you to do if you're so inclined. Take care of yourself. Thanks for coming to class, and thanks to OLLI. Have a great week.